Let's just dive right into this video of Alina Habba at the Johnstown, Pennsylvania rally from yesterday. Of course, she is Trump's lawyer in some places, and sometimes she's just a legal spokeswoman and quite the Trump supporter. Here it is, then I'll make some points about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you saw her on CNN, but let me be very clear. I am an American woman. I am a MAGA woman, and I don't need a man standing next to me to get up and speak.
I thought MAGA was against identity politics.
So while Miss Harris is too busy trying not to giggle in front of the American people, I am going to get my hands dirty and help President Trump save this country. God bless you all.
And the ending is particularly bad, but before getting to that, who needs you to get your hands dirty? Why is that necessary? And what do you mean by that? How is that a requirement for Trump victory? Why can't you just, in a very legitimate sense, without any hands being dirty at all, win?
God bless you all. I love you. There is no question the warfare is a part of their problem, and they are desperate like I've never seen. But all I can tell you is they are only desperate for the fear they fear the most, which is the American dream. They are the opposite of it. I will help us preserve America with our great president. And I will tell you right now, the reason I have strength and the reason I am who I am right now is because of one person, the 45th and the 47th president of the United States. God bless America. Thank you.
So then I guess clapping for herself a little bit, but okay, wait. There's so much there. I guess what we should focus on a little bit is we're going to have to address her comment about being a woman who, unlike Kamala Harris, doesn't need a man by her side. That, okay. And then the second big part is her saying, I have the strength and am who I am today because of Trump. I thought she was going to say, genuinely, I thought it was going to be, I am the strong woman that I am, and I'm here today because of Jesus Christ, my Savior. But instead, it was because of Donald Trump, my Savior. It's crazy. It's crazy. Today, we're going to be passing 800,000 subscribers. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Think about this, though. Now it's the home stretch to 1 million. And if all the people who regularly watch the show who aren't subscribed did subscribe today, we could be to 1 million instantly. That would be awesome. Make sure you've done it. Thank you so much. Back to the video. Before getting back to the earlier part, let's stick on that and remind ourselves of the weird Trump-Jesus merge in the minds of too many MAGA folks.
The Democrats and the fake news media want to constantly talk about, oh, President Trump is a convicted felon. Well, you want to know something? The man that I worship is also a convicted felon. And he was murdered on a Roman cross.
Okay. And you might say, hey, that's unfair. She's just making an interesting comparison. She's not saying she worships Trump. No one in MAGA would ever say explicitly they worship Trump. You know what? All your anti-Trump content, Luke, but you can never find someone who explicitly says they worship Trump.
What more can be said than thank God we're here in Sunset Park to worship and bring back the greatest president we've ever known in our generation.
And that was Michael McDonald, the chair of the Nevada Republican Party, top dog in the Republican Party of Nevada, saying, we're here today to worship and bring back Trump You might say they're going to bring him back on the third day. It's really disturbing stuff. Alina Habba saying, I derive my strength, my identity, my purpose on this earth from Donald Trump. You remember that reporting or the testimony from Liz Cheney about how when certain Republicans were walking up to sign their name to form saying they're going to object to the election results, one of them grunted, ugh, the things we do for Orange Jesus. We didn't know how literally that belief would become, or how literal that belief would become for so many people. Now, you then have a part of what Alina Habba said there about how she, as a strong MAGA woman, doesn't need a man by her side for her to speak up about how she derives her strength from a person, a mortal. What she's referring to is Vice President Kamala Harris's joint interview with her vice presidential running mate, Tim Walz. It's actually pretty normal that when you post convention, from what I've seen, when you have a first big interview and you've announced your vice president, it seems reasonable. Trump and Vance did it, for example, to, after that announcement is made, do a joint interview to show the American people this is the ticket. Visualized, and you can now hear from both of us in one interview. And then subsequent interviews will feature just Kamala Harris. I can say that for certain. But they're so desperate to make these bizarre, incorrect, and honestly vile points about the gender of Kamala Harris. It's just a desperation to make points about that because they know certain people really get revved up when you make those types of points. That they have figured out ways to connect that to subjects where it makes absolutely no sense. Jesse Waters on Fox News lately. Oh my gosh. And more recently, Charlie Kirk saying this.
Kamala Harris says her values haven't changed. So your Marxist values haven't changed? Your values when you were Attorney General of California? Kamala Harris screams as somebody who has unaddressed, lingering father issues.
And then he goes on, but I wouldn't dare to allow him to stoop this show to that level, to analyze the personal relationship between Kamala Harris and her father. This only reflects poorly on MAGA, not Kamala Harris. A rational adult sees the first joint interview post-convention with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and goes, interesting. I'm going to observe the ticket and see where I stand. Only MAGA goes, how can we make this a point about how she's a woman and that's scary? Or how she's not a strong woman like Alina Habba. Even though Alina Habba says her strength comes from Trump. Wait, I just linked that in my head. Think about that. What? In 1 minute, she goes from saying, I'm a strong MAGA woman unlike Kamala Harris, and I could stand on my own because my strength comes from my independence. And within that minute goes, and also my strength comes from a man, Donald Trump. Whoa. That's pretty wild. That is really, really wild stuff. And to be honest, the reason they're attacking her is because she does come off as a strong person. Man or woman. A strong, sharp, qualified person. That's the vibe you get from her when you actually observe an interview or a speech with an open mind and not a MAGA mind. Don't have a MAGA mind. That's a scary, scary thing to have. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments. If you want to get extra content daily and support this show, you can do it by clicking the join button below.